mentioning only because if the DS game is sitting on a shelf at Target, how different is that from We Ninja sitting next to it? I think there is a big difference, but I think it's a really great question to ponder. So I wanted to focus a little bit more on the DS game since that was our biggest license, or is our biggest license thus far, and talk a little bit about what that did for us and what it didn't do and what we learned from that process. Because if you end up going out into the world and making your own thing, and someone really likes it, if they don't want to buy it from you, then they might want to license it from you. And it's really important to think about the scale of some of this stuff. So Ninja Town came out in November of 2008. It was highly critically acclaimed. It got great reviews pretty much from everywhere except for a couple publications in the UK. Metacritic and GameStats are two sort of websites that combine all scores from everywhere, including user ratings, and spit out an overall score. So Metacritic gave us an 80%, which is incredibly high for a game that's virtually unknown. GameStats was basically in line with that and gave us 7.9 out of 10 for all of the reviews that they accumulated. So we're really pleased from that side. We get a ton of press. They put Ninja Town and Shawnimals in front of a lot of eyes. And here's the game. So, Tower Defense. Anyone? Okay. It's basically like a real-time strategy game, but real-time strategy light. You're placing ninja units. You are upgrading them. You're trying to stop the enemies from coming through Ninja Town. And basically, it tells the story that we created for the game with Robbie Q. Telfer again. And you are trying to stop Mr. Demon, who's the main antagonist in the world of Ninja Town, from stealing the Ninja Star cookie recipe and putting his evil dark syrup into the recipe and basically contaminating not just the ninjas in Ninja Town, but the whole world of Shawnimals. So it's really it's a heartwarming tale. And I only brought this, I wasn't originally going to include this, but this is something that blew all of us away at Shawnimals. So this is, we were nominated for a BAFTA for Ninja Town because they have a game segment different than the US Academy Awards. They actually do acknowledge games as a medium. And so we were nominated for a BAFTA, and we got this letter in the mail. We got like this awesome poster, and you know, it's talks about the reach of something that we didn't spend a nickel on. And in fact, the game company, the publisher, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars creating, millions of creating and marketing it. And every time they said anything about it, it was Ninja Town, our brand. They don't own the brand. They only own a license for Ninja Town in games. So, pretty exciting stuff. And how did all this happen? How did this game happen? Well, that's my roots. Electronic Gaming Monthly. Anyone know about this magazine? Okay, so it kind of died. Now it's coming back. I was a game reviewer at EGM from 1996 to 2000. And during that time, I reviewed a lot of games, and I met a lot of people, many of whom are my friends to this day. Some of the guys that I met knew that some publishers were looking for new IPs to turn into games. And we started talking about, well, they knew about Shawnimals, they knew that we were doing these things that could translate well into games. And they asked about Ninja Town, and we knew that Ninja Town was the one that if we were going to pitch something that makes the most sense. It's got a good versus evil storyline. It's got ninjas that are kind of cute, but also kind of badass. So that made a lot of sense. We sat down and started talking about this in Ninja Town. The game came from that discussion. We pitched it to South Peak, and they were excited about it. We worked through all the 25 or 26-page contract crap, and then came out the other side and got to work. And we worked with a developer directly out of Connecticut named Ben Entertainment, who made the game, did a great job, and are awesome to work with. Highly collaborative process. So, with all this critical acclaim, with the BAFTA nomination, obviously this game is going to sell like crazy. We're going to be doing this. Even in a royalty situation, we're going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Not exactly true. Unfortunately, it was more like this. Maybe quarters too, but we did get money, and we were pleased with that, but not nearly as much as we thought. But that was okay in hindsight, because we got something else from this. And I'm not going to start drilling down to Google Analytics data, but I do think it's really important to note this is the Google Analytics data page views for Shawnimals.com from January 1st, 2008 to present, basically. So, as it says, this is the point when the game came out. So we had some nice little spikes, maybe get up to like 5,000, 6,000 page views. And then the game comes out, and we're getting close to 15, 16,000 page views. And this is weekly. This isn't monthly. So then it just kind of, goes crazy, and then, there's another batch of games that's sent out from the manufacturer out to the world to Target and GameStop restocks, and we can really clearly see what's happening here. This is not rocket science. This is clear data, and that's what the game provided us. And in hindsight, we didn't really care as much. Yeah, we would have liked $100,000. That would be awesome. But it's not as important when you have this kind of traffic coming to your website and without paying a nickel for it. We have I should mention, we have no PR marketing budget. Anything we do is like Google AdWords once in a while and Facebook ads once in a while and like a little print ad in a designer toy magazine or web banner. We're talking thousands, maybe $1,000 or $2,000 annual budget for PR marketing. So that's awesome. The traffic to our website, I'll get to the sales part of it, but kind of the more important thing, and thankfully we have this new website where you can post comments and at this point, obviously we have our Twitter and Facebook, we start having this interaction with our fan base that we never had before. And this is huge. If it's a numbers game of getting people to come to your website, you have a higher percent chance of them actually caring. And that's really huge. So we put up, this is 2 examples of photo contests that we did through the website. So the first one there, we said, okay, we have a bunch of new mustachio handmade plush coming out, including Grampy Stash. This guy here, you saw him earlier. Do some sort of crazy photos with mustachios, post them to our Flickr group, and we'll pick a winner. I think, was that based on quality, Eric? Or was that, I can't remember. Anyway, this was our pick, I believe. This was Grampy Stash. I mean, this is a high level of dedication. You actually put shaving cream on this limited edition plush toy that there was only like 15 of them made. And I think they were selling for like $100 on eBay or something. So this guy, he almost automatically won because of that, but it was also a really cool photo. Then we also did a Ninja Town zipper charm photo contest. So this is another, like a level of dedication I did not expect. And they made a set for the Ninja Consultant in the MT clinic, because in our world, the Ninja Consultant is missing his arm. That's why it's a sad tale, but at least he gets some work. We also did another person photographed the scene with the business ninja, who's had a hard day at the office, obviously, with those stacks of papers, and there's no way he's going to get those reports done in time. But they did this. We had nothing to do with it. We just had this toy that was licensed that we didn't pay a nickel for. They're buying these things and making these scenes, and that's amazing. It's a compliment, for sure, but it's also something that I think came from the exposure we received from the video game. Comments on the website. It's a basic thing, and comments are great, and sometimes they mean nothing, sometimes they're vulgar. But the cool thing that comes from comments on our website is when they start talking, when our fans start talking to each other. And then that's something else that happens, because then it's fans communicating in a way that we didn't really imagine. I mean, it makes sense, yeah, they might do that, but the fact that they are doing that is pretty amazing. Facebook, we went from having a few hundred fans to now over 3,000. We're nearing 3,500 fans. And that's something that, again, we can expect it. We have a lot of people requesting constantly Ninja Town 2. They want the sequel. They want to see what new ninjas we have coming out. They want to know what Shawnimals is doing overall. And it's a great vehicle to communicate with our fans. The same way that Twitter is. Totally different thing. But most of the time, we can see right through Google Analytics where our conversions are coming from. They're coming from Facebook and Twitter and our newsletter and our website. Those are pretty amazing ways to communicate with your fan base. You call them customers, I don't care what you call them, but it's a a great way to communicate. There's some really lame and kind of boring ways to do that on these social media, social networking tools. But there's a really cool way to do that when you're honest with them and you're just straight up and like, I'm a person who owns this business and is making this stuff, and I appreciate that you're even